The most beloved Hollywood power couple destroyed a director's life. They orchestrated a covert, multi-million-dollar smear campaign to destroy Justin Baldoni, weaponized Taylor Swift as a pawn to steal a movie, and then abruptly settled a massive lawsuit for $0 just to hide a devastating leaked audio recording. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are exposing the golden couple of Hollywood, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. You know them as the sarcastic, relatable internet boyfriend and the flawless fashion icon, but behind closed doors they are operating a ruthless corporate bullying machine. The commercial success of the film It Ends With Us was completely eclipsed by one of the most toxic power struggles in modern cinema. Let's dive into the dark reality of how they stole a film, assassinated a man's character, and watched their own empire collapse. We know this power couple took control of the film from its rightful director Justin Baldoni, but how exactly did an actress hired to star in a film legally and creatively steal it from the man who owned the rights? She used her A-list status to completely bypass the director, secretly commissioning a second cut of the film from Shane Reid, the exact same editor who worked on her husband's blockbuster Deadpool and Wolverine. But wait, why would the massive studio distributing the film ever agree to use her unauthorized, rogue version of the movie? She essentially held the movie hostage, intentionally leaking her rough cut to hardcore fans at a Colleen Hoover Book Bonanza event, manipulating fan support to back the studio into a corner. By the time the studio realized what was happening, Blake had already weaponized the fandom. And the script itself? How did her husband Ryan Reynolds suddenly become the writer of the film's most pivotal scene? Ryan Reynolds secretly rewrote the famous rooftop scene, likely violating labor rules during the WGA writers' strike, and Blake gleefully blabbed about it on the red carpet, completely blindsiding the actual screenwriter Christy Hall, who found out at the exact same time as the general public. Hall assumed the scene was her own work or on-set improvisation, only to have her authorship publicly stolen by a man who had no contractual role on the production. Stealing the creative rights to a movie is one thing in Hollywood, but stealing the movie wasn't enough for Reynolds and Lively, as they systematically obliterated the director's career. They weaponized their massive industry and financial influence to pressure their shared elite talent agency WME into dropping Justin Baldoni completely. Ryan Reynolds used his status as an ultimate cash cow to force the agency to abandon Baldoni the exact same month the film released, orchestrating a targeted industry blacklisting. This terrifying move isolated Baldoni from crucial future filmmaking opportunities, destroying his livelihood forever. But how did they spin the public narrative to make Justin Baldoni look like the villain while they were the ones pulling the strings? They fabricated claims of on-set harassment, with Ryan Reynolds labeling him a sexual predator to industry executives to completely derail his reputation. Reynolds personally terrorized the director behind closed doors to fabricate a toxic workplace narrative. Reynolds viciously berated Baldoni in his private New York apartment, baselessly accusing the director of fat-shaming Blake Lively over a simple, necessary question about her weight due to his severe back injury. In unsealed text messages, Reynolds called Baldoni a predatory fraudster and a sociopathic fog minister, actively lobbying actors like Matt Damon to blacklist him. Blake even filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, which was later gutted by a federal judge who threw out her sexual harassment claims, ruling she was an independent contractor and her allegations didn't meet the legal bar. And they even brought a secret billionaire weapon in to seal Baldoni's fate and execute this hostile takeover. Taylor Swift, whose darkest secrets we have revealed earlier in this channel. Unsealed court documents reveal Swift wasn't an innocent bystander. She actively strategized with Blake over text. Swift advised Blake to withhold her music from the movie's trailer, texting that doing so would give Blake more power over the film. Even more sickening, when Baldoni gave a public interview opening up about his own past physical trauma, Swift texted Blake mocking him, writing, "I think this Bakken knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin." By January 2025, Justin Baldoni had fought back, hitting the couple with a $400 million extortion and defamation lawsuit. Fast forward to the climax of this legal war. Why did this massive, hundreds of millions of dollars lawsuit suddenly end in a $0 settlement just 2 weeks before the trial? Lively's legal team desperately tried to use a leaked audio recording of Baldoni's PR consultant plotting a smear campaign against another producer, hoping to establish a pattern of unethical behavior. However, this backfired catastrophically when they utterly failed to link a single negative article to him, proving her claims of an untraceable digital army were completely false. They ultimately settled the case for $0 because they reached a horrifying point of mutual assured destruction. So they settled the lawsuit to save face. But what massive financial disaster was quietly unfolding behind the scenes while they played the wealthy victims? While Blake was parading around New York in custom designer gowns, their 110-acre eco-friendly estate was hit with over $2.1 million in mechanics liens because they simply stopped paying their working-class contractors. 5 separate contractors who did the plumbing, masonry, and framing for their multi-million-dollar compound had to file legal action just to get paid for their honest labor. And the final, most burning question: how is Ryan Reynolds surviving this catastrophic PR nightmare while his wife's empire and businesses burn to the ground? He is actively and quietly sacrificing his wife. Reynolds has completely stepped back, leaving Blake to attend highly publicized events like the Met Gala and the Stephen Colbert finale completely alone. Reynolds knows her image is entirely radioactive right now. By abandoning her on the red carpets, he is forcing Blake to absorb 100% of the public's hatred, ensuring that his own highly profitable Deadpool brand survives the fallout unscathed. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds did not just aggressively try to rewrite the script of a romantic drama movie, they arrogantly tried to rewrite reality, maliciously destroying absolutely anyone who dared not to seamlessly fit into their incredibly toxic script. But the harsh, undeniable truth always leaves a permanent paper trail of unsealed court documents. The public finally sees right through the heavily manufactured, sarcastic internet facade. Their relatable charm was merely a weapon used to violently bulldoze over smaller creators and hard-working artists. What do you think compelled the power couple to go down to such low heights? Comment below, and next week we bring more deep dives into the darkest secrets of Hollywood's elite. Hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments who we should expose next.